My name is Venison Jeffrey, and this is the Workers' Rights Platform. We are broadcasting live from the Workers' Rights Network. Now, I would like to start this little segment here with a scene in which Machiavelli would have once said, "It's better to be impetuous than circumspect. Fortune is a woman. It's better to beat her and coerce her." Now, what he would have said there, he wasn't referring to, you go and you beat a woman. Out of a destiny, he was likening it onto a woman. Sometimes you had to be aggressive and go after what is destiny. This morning a video would have been uploaded by us onto the Workers' Rights Platform concerning certain statements in which we would have been asking within the public domain. At this point in time, we still want to clear up this. So if the persons or the individual in which was mentioned within that video have anything to say as to clear up the allegations in those videos, you could reach out to us on the numbers 333-2176 is at the bottom of everyone in our broadcast. Now, we would like to thank the many of our listeners and supporters, who would have left comments and messages and reach out, to assist. We're trying to reach our goal. You could call us. We're trying to reach our goal, a target, a matter of fact. Call us, we go make it part of the plan and the team. Now, one of the comments that would have been broadcasted and mentioned on one of our groups is this. Just the other day I realized I can't see. I was fighting it. I was in denial. Anytime I lift up this phone, it just be difficult. The people wouldn't understand. That is concerning the video in which we would have posted, "Don't vote the PNM in point." Now, the people won't understand that because they feel if another party win, certain ethnicity will take over and they go in by race, not by what is facts and reality and how the blasted roads, buildings, crime and everything needs to fix and change. I don't know what to say about people, and such is a fact. Now, there are certain things that would have taken place in the area, Point 14 and environs, that have not been fixed. By the little contribution in which we would have fought the local election real hard, a matter of fact. That was last year. And it would have reached a point that, plenty of the things in which we would have advocated for would have fixed. We'd have talked about the water issue, the fix that. We'd have talked about the roads, in which half of it was paved and the next half was paved after a while. Now, a second one on the comment is that change is necessary. In these times, in order to move forward, all of us are Trini, no matter what. And thinking about it, right, the only set of people that change could come about from at this point in time is from the next biggest party, which is the UNC. Now, many of us frightened and disenchanted. And I believe is that you shouldn't join the UNC as a single individual. Let me join the UNC as a group. Underneath a party, there are a lot of them, they are PEP. And the next one is Gary Griffith. National, I'm forgetting it. I really forget it. The next one is Gary Griffith. Right? We know the party, the blue. And the thing about it is this. Let me join as somebody as a group and come in bargaining that this should be fixed and that should be fixed. If we support you, we have something to bargain with. The people at Point 14 and Library, we have something to bargain with. Because if these present administrations and them who was there, i.e. the PNM, not taking us on, we talk about the roads, we had to protest. We talk about jobs within our community, we had to protest to do that. We ain't fed up. There are people who just sit down home and make it happen. It's about time change come about. And the thing about it is this: the established order cannot remain and do us the same thing again. Now, there are many videos we are going back here now and do a rewind concerning a lot of things. We are going to do a rebroadcast and many of the old videos during our election campaign, and which many of you would have speak out on concerning the issues that taking place throughout the area. Point 14. Now that 21 million project, many of you may not want to admit it, but with the water upgrade and thing, we would have shed light, and I and Sheldon can. And today, sadly, you could see that we are being sued by the MP in Point 14, MP Kennedy Richards. Now, to say it in the least in a nice way, we are impetuous, little to no resources, where the financial part is from a financial nature. And we are calling on like-minded individuals like yourself to reach out to us and lend some assistance. Because what they are doing really and truly is to try to silence the voice of people that would have shed light. And somebody would have seen the video and would have sent this voice note directly to me.
A better way to say it is stop wasting your vote and condemning the country. That is a better way of saying it.
And that was one of the message that was sent to us via individual who would have understand the fight in which we are fighting throughout this. I mean, nobody did no point. People, I mean, would have came and take advantage of many people that came from this peninsula because nobody hear about it. None of these things, issues that have been highlighted. I sure you never know that would have been taking place with the youth police youth club in Library, in which they would have been having sports year after year after year after year and encouraging the youths, you know, in a better way, choosing a better way of life in the community. That is why, although it does have some bad police some of the time, plenty, well, some of the times, there are also a set that don't believe in that philosophy, and they would have reached out to the youths as to where they are at and try to alleviate plenty of the issue. The one or two little rotten eggs as the seed that in between in which we would have exposed, you understand, through an intricate form. But anyway, we would have gone on our YouTube platform, and this was some of the comments in which would have been taking place there. And the thing about it is this: a lot of people know what we are doing, you know. A lot of people know. Some of the comments in which we would have heard gotten on the YouTube is this: for sure, my vote not going to no corrupt politician, no vote for me for that PNM. And there is a point person that would have said that. Expose them, the PNM Point 14 members, supporters wants to censor freedom of speech. Now, again, there is our next point 14 individual. We would have talked about the dilapidated facilities in the Warden Road area. Break up facilities, the grounds on them hardly even maintained properly. And we would have spoken vigorously against such a thing. Now, again, let me go back into the comment. They also have 3 and 4 jobs. Some of them, as they would have said, these are allegations that is going on in the Point 14 area, that some of the executives and them, they had 3 and 4 jobs. Try and get the matter to be heard before Justice Sipasa, that at least people know what is going on the bottom level. Because in government, it is understood that when certain things go before the court and you have a particular persuasion or a particular belief or you vote in a particular direction, this is what takes place. So that is why it is important that the two major parties have equal time within the media and get equal recognition, because I mean the country is so small. Sometimes people give in to the biases throughout the hemisphere. Now we are calling on members of the public to understand, because it would have talked about the issue with the acts. I would have heard that in our meeting just recently. The trees would have felt that the acts and the tree and them is family, because the handle was made out of wood. And they're laughing and smiling with the axe here, boy, because he handle was made out of wood. And he chopped all the trees down. Sometimes there are people that look like us, operate like us, function as us, but they don't have a heart, they don't have a soul, and they cares nothing about you. Men move from one ambition to the next. First, they seek to secure themselves from attacks, and then they attack other people. And people that would have been vibrating on the lower part, that would have been appealing to the mammalian side of the brain, does that on humanity. And look, this video is still within the public domain, and there is no answer towards it, and nobody seems to care. Nobody want to reach out, and people end up sending defamation. People, we need your help on this one. Gandhi would have said something. They could break one twig, but they cannot break a band of us. And the only way issues is solved within this country is only when we come together as one and function as a unit. Put aside our petty little differences of color. We have something to negotiate with. If you decide to de facto to the UNC party, you PNM supporters, you have the power of your vote and you have the control of the electoral district that you are in. Support, you have the power to support who you want to represent you and to get the kind of resources you want within your neighborhood. But it cannot go. One man can't go. A whole band of us have to band together and unite underneath one umbrella and fix the country. It's high time that we give one person a chance and they do all of this. And we give our next person a chance without putting them in check. And what I mean putting them in check, to set it up in such a structure that they must follow. We as black people in this country have been misrepresented and underrepresented. These things are facts. And the people in which we would have hold in high esteem will have seen us as somebody just to give a handout to go and check welfare, go and check social services, go and check NIS, look at CPEP and work. They keep in the contract because the contractor gets some like $20,000 a month. And they don't have to pay nothing from that $20,000. Wherever they buy, they get it back. It's the workers that get paid in the bank who getting 12 and 800. And you, the people, get nothing in return, in far contrast to what the contractor is getting. And we would have seen this cycle that would have been going on forever. And nobody in standing up. And according to him, but we in protest yet. Nobody, come on, black people. I am a black man. And I would have seen what this country would have done to many of us. A prime minister that the people is crying out to. And he seems not to answer, not to care about you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. None of you ain't going to understand this until you are put placed in a position that you have to defend yourself. You go understand that, hey, something wrong here. A mother just the other day was in Grandy and would have been advantaged. And the system was implemented to shut her up. And it's through social media and platforms like these story would have ended up outside. Just a day ago, the pushback movement was in front of our Express House and they stayed inside. This story would have never made mainstream media. And we are seeing that the government in this country would have been censoring people and bringing them to naught. And we must, you see, when it knock on your door, die when it does understand. That is when it does see, when your child that you went through labor pain and ups and downs in hospital for 9 months gets shot down by the police. By the police. Then you just realize, wait, now something wrong. Now, there are different ways in which problems could be assessed. And sometimes the immediate problem is not the cause, but the remote problem may be. And what I'm saying by the remote problem, and I mean some of these mothers that crying out within the public domain and saying, my child, and somehow you're laughing at them. Or you wasn't there in the houses of these parents and them. Or you wasn't there when an opportunity wasn't given to them. Opportunities have been taken. Doors these mothers and them may have knocked on, and it would have reached a point that they have no other choice than try to survive. Yes, some of the times they're bringing something in the house and they know they're not asking where it come from because they know the child never have it. But at the same time, they're hungry. They want, so I mean, end up like that. And we are calling on the people, the public, Trinidad and Tobago. We here, and we do have our organization. And when I'm talking about we, the black people, we do have our organization that is standing up for us. We don't have our organization in which we could run to a body. We just borrow from everybody culture. The Hindus have their organizational structure. The Muslims have their organizational structure. Where is our own? Are we just good to just be consumers alone within the public domain? Are we just good enough to vote and to use us as a kind of harvesting bank that only when election time, that is the only time you could see an MP? Or to get you have to beg for people for a cleaning job somewhere? And not understanding that we must go further in which we could own certain things, we could have certain assets. At the end of the day, let me be real. What legacy that any of these black politicians and them could say that they would have caused within the public domain and say, I do that, I would have rescued and helped and turned 3 or 4 people into millionaires. I would have gone into the community and do this and do that. How much of them could actually come out and say these things? They keep you in a certain spot in which you hungry and begging, you feel, I'm sure many of you don't want to be in a position like that. Plenty of you all end up security guards. I mean, I'm not contradicting the job, but in lower position for lack of funding, for lack of money, and the foresight in which the government would have seen it fit to, 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 to do certain programs in such a way that the populace could benefit from it. We are fighting a losing battle, supporting a government that do not care about us. They don't care about how we live. They don't care about the progress of the society at all, at all, at all. They don't. Because if they did, the black people, the black government, as they profess to say, that would have been in power for so long, black people would have been in a better position. What black bank it have? What black association it have? That could say that this is strictly black people owned. We ain't saying that to promote a certain type of racing. But we have no umbrellas to protect us. We have to run so, we have to run here. I mean, we can't negotiate enough. Because from soon and very soon as one black man make it, he forget his brother, forget his sister, and leave them in the struggle. We must borrow from the other race and them that exists and come together. Come together. Come together as one. And what have not been working for us for so many years, we must change. You don't want to be in a position in which you would have speak out on certain things. And instead, black man to black man, you reach out and have a discussion. You decide to send legal notice in which people could have lost their lives and still is in a position of danger for land, for a piece of land that somebody decide to live on because they too had nothing. Not to say that they build a concrete house and a little board house. Fight to get current, to take off the meter. This is what going on in this country. This is what going on. The crab in a barrel syndrome. You go on the jails, you see black people full up the jail. I mean, if you're doing crime, I mean, we know it's not black people alone doing crime. But watch how they're doing it. It's strategic in a certain sense. I ain't playing it up in a certain way, but we should come together and open industries, places, give back. The very few of you all that make it out of the struggle, there are people like us and others that line up behind, that all you forget where you came from. And all you reaching out to no organization, or you seeing these things as criticism. This what we doing here is a cry because we went unnoticed for years. We here in this Point 14 area went unnoticed for years. The industries that they have in the area is strictly people from outside. And here we're going to say the blacks don't want nothing but no opportunity, no ball was bowled to them. In some of the situations that we are seeing here, that existing here in this area, in Point 14 and Library, Vessany, Union, Warden Road, Ikakas, all of these places and them, the situation that reaching here is the one directly somebody to reach in and pull them out. The people down on the side are disenfranchised with what is going on, but have no avenues in which to speak out on it. And anytime somebody speak out, is warning notice and court action. And some of the times the mind so finite. There was a statement that was made to those that remember what was unable to accept what can be. You know what can be? What was corruption and turning back? What can be is if you empower the citizens of this country, we could go further than all the rest of the islands of the Caribbean. And we ain't seen that. The manual was done laid by Adam Smith, where he would have talked about the wealth of nations and would have talked explicitly to certain things that exist within the public. I mean, if you have a society that everybody is poor, the country can't go no way. The system, the education levels are going to deplete. But once you bring them up, the country up to our next level, every citizen, that it had no other way than to go up again. When you're having, especially black people, because I could talk from my side of the struggle. When you have black people in certain areas stretch out through Trinidad and Tobago and that to fight for basic resources where their attention is going to be not basic. Now, if everybody was getting normal food, have no problem with getting food, have no problem with getting jobs, have no problem with getting shelter. Where things going to happen? They ain't going to think about these things. They will think about bringing the country without an assembly plant. Cars without done be manufactured in Trinidad. In which we could compete with the world. Now we are country, are only consumers. And when there are individuals that come out and speak out about certain things, we would have been met several times with severe opposition. Now we can't go into all the videos on them today, but this was only meant to be a little 5-6 minutes, but it happened. It happened like this. God knows. Now, during the course of the week that is ahead, we are going to run a little marathon. It might be a 2 or 3 days marathon in which we didn't finalize it yet with the rest of the team, as to bring what we would have brought to the table for the Point 14 area and the people within the area, in which you and many of you could understand and see for yourself what we would have been advocating for in the past. We could lay to a particular plan and we have projecting towards the future. And people we are calling, we need your help, your support. Come forward and pledge a little help. Again, my name is Renison Jeffrey. This is the Workers' Rights Platform. Like, share, and subscribe and be a part of this fastest growing network. And be a part of this. I want something. I want something for my children, and I want something for your children as well. I want something for you. The thing that you are not seeing. I want one day to come that if my child have something, that I could reach out to our next brother and they could say, here. But what you have here in this place is hopelessness on all sides. Nobody can reach out to nobody. Because none of we do have. None. Again, we cannot keep on supporting a government that does not support us. Coming 2025 into this election, it must not be business as usual. We must put these politicians and them in check on both sides. And we must be able to negotiate for our spot in the race. And with that, I am out. My name is Renison Jeffrey, and this is the Workers' Rights Platform. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.